Welcome to Unfiltered Brew. It is our second episode. I'm Deb Miles.
I'm Kim Becker, and I am so excited to be here.
I am too. Now, we've got, granted, we only have one episode under our belts.
I know, but it's been fun.
It has been fun. It's getting better all the time, but we've gotten some really good feedback from it.
I think so, too. And I'm glad that people just, the whole idea of Unfiltered was just raw conversation about our lives and anything that happens. And I think that that's what people like. I think so. For me, what I always say, I have a love-hate relationship with social media because people put up their Kodak moments and you kind of compare your imperfect world to other people's Kodak moments. And we just put up our imperfect world.
That's right. If you want to
make people can just compare their worlds to our imperfect world. So
absolutely. There's nothing perfect.
No.
Absolutely nothing perfect in life. So why should we be?
I have no intention. Perfect is too hard. I have no interest in being perfect.
No, I don't
want to be good. I'd like to be really good. And you know what? But here's the thing, and this is why I love this podcast and what we're doing together, because we've talked about this for so long.
Yes.
But we are authentic. And you and I we're both in the public eye in the work that we do. And if you were to see us on TV or in the grocery store or driving our car, we're the same person. Like, we don't put up a front where we're one person, when we think people are watching, and then we're another person when we go to the grocery store. We are the same person. And I think that it's authentic, and that's what we bring that a lot of people it's a fake world, I feel like.
It really is. And really, it's too much work to try and keep up with everything.
Gosh.
It really is. You just have to be yourselves. And I think we are, and I think we hit a lot of topics that people can relate to or giggle at or laugh at. Whatever you'd like to do. But this is our second episode. Very exciting. Got a lot of things to talk about. And I'm going to start out with...
You going to tell me about the singles in your purse?
Well, yes. Let's start that out.
I have my own story in my head as to why you would have singles in a bunch. Wait. Not a few singles. A bunch of singles in your purse.
It's in a bank envelope.
So I have my own theory. So you might want to debunk that, or that's the story I'm running with.
If anybody knows me, my purse is never zipped. So
mine isn't either. Isn't that funny? Tom always says to me, Kim, we're in the grocery store, zip your purse. Oh, all right. But no. And then it's in the front seat and it falls over and everything. It would just be easier to zip. Yeah, no, mine's never zipped either. No, never.
I just found a credit card under my car seat from where it dumped from the last time. I don't know why either. But anyway, my purse fell over and then my little bank envelope with all my singles in it fell out. And I felt the need to explain it to Kim because it's a funny story.
Yeah.
But basically, I'm going to start off a little differently because there's a backstory to my singles. The backstory to my singles is my car.
Okay.
I have a car and I have difficulty sometimes driving this car.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. I'll take that up. I'll tell you why. Because for some reason, when you want to get your car washed, I go to the fancy car wash. I call it the fancy one because it's got all kinds of puppets and stuff inside. It's a lot of fun to go into. But you have to put your car in neutral in most of the car washes.
Right.
Well, the car I have now is not just a regular gear shift.
Okay.
You have to kind of shuffle it backwards and sideways to get to neutral.
Oh, that would drive me crazy.
Well,
I wouldn't know. Yeah, that's not good.
So it was one of our few beautiful days recently. I was sunny, 70 degrees. I thought, I'm going to go get my car washed. Well, I wasn't the only one, obviously, but I was in front of a line of nothing but cars, and I get to the front, ready to put my car in neutral, and I couldn't do it. I mean, I was going sideways, I'm moving it, and so I'm panicking then, and I'm not getting it into neutral. Looking at me as this terrified teenager. This kid was so terrified, and I said, I can't put it in neutral. So I rolled down my window, which was also against the rules. They don't want your windows down.
Right.
So I said, I can't move it. I can't do it. And he looked at me like he was terrified. He had braces and freckles, and he turned around and started running to get his manager. And the cars behind me were like, I could just tell they're ready to honk. And finally,
they didn't put you in yet, right? They left you sitting there so that you weren't.
Well, I couldn't go in because I couldn't put it in neutral.
Okay.
You have to have it in neutral for it to take your tires and take it through.
That's true.
So I'm staying. Finally, I was so panicky, and finally, I said a little prayer, I think, and finally I got some help from above, and it automatically went into neutral. I said, I got it, because the manager was running out. The kid was terrified, and so finally I went in, and so I said, this is it. I have had it. This has happened more than once for me. I am getting a new car.
I wonder why they made it so hard as a manufacturer to put your car neutral. Did they never want you to sit
Maybe
still?
it's not hard for other people. Yep. Maybe it's just for me.
And this is where authentic comes in.
Maybe this is just not the car for me. So I thought I have to get my car washed, but I can't go to those car washes.
Yeah.
So I had to go. Remember the old ones where you actually had the wand and the foam brush, and you needed quarters and money?
Did you get wet during that?
I had no choice. I had no other choice. Because I'm not going through that horrible neutral thing again. Not going to happen. I was scarred. Very scarred. So I stopped at the bank and I said, could you please give me $20 of singles?
My story that I had in my head was a whole lot more fun as to why you had singles than a car wash, just so you know.
So I get to the first. There aren't that many that you can put quarters in.
I know. I was going to say these automated ones, the high class ones that you're talking about, those are kind of taking over the world around here. So
I found one, and then the changer wasn't right. So I had all these dollars. So then I had to go back to the bank, and I said, could I have $20 in quarters then? So I forgot I had the singles, so that I've got now $40, some in singles, some in quarters. So I went back, and I forgot how to use this thing, too, because I could barely see where to turn the dial on it.
Yeah.
So I put the quarters in. I'm doing the dialing, and now in my hand, I have the wand, and I have the foam brush.
Yeah, I'd have just gone with the wand. You're an overachiever. I don't think I would have done the wand and the brush. It would have been one or the other.
And everybody, all the stalls were busy. So of course there's somebody waiting for me.
Yeah.
So I did a terrible job. It's got all kinds of soap on it, but that's why I have the singles. So, instead of just using the singles and the quarters, I'm going to get a new car.
I can't blame you. I think I'd want the automatic one too. I would want neutral to work. I think that's a must.
Well, I like I said, and then I went to the dealership yesterday. I said, do people complain about this? He goes, no, not really.
And yet you were hoping that there would be a ton of people that were having the same challenge you were.
I wanted to feel better.
Yes.
I wanted to feel vindicated somehow, but I wasn't. The car defeated me. So that's where I'm at with all the singles. But isn't it funny the circumstances you find yourself in sometimes?
Yes.
When you least expect it, like a car wash and everything else. And I know
you think it would be easy, right? You would think just driving into a car wash would be easy.
Now I can't. I've got a PTSD.
I know. I would too.
I won't go.
I would too.
Because I'm going to think it's going to happen again, and I won't be able to get into neutral. What do they do then? Do they have to tow it? I don't know what they would do. Everything went through my head.
I don't even know, right?
I'm going to have to call my AAA.
You know what? That's a good question. Would they have to have everybody back out that was behind you so that you could have gotten it into reverse? You couldn't have gone forward you couldn't have gone through.
No. So
I can't even. To be honest with you, I probably would have panicked too. Same thing. What happens if your window won't roll up?
Well, that's another thing. I almost forgot about it.
Yeah.
I was so happy I got it neutral. I almost forgot to roll up my window. So the kid was yelling at me about that. Ma'am, roll up your window. I said, don't. I'm moving.
Don't you yell at me. I'll leave my window down if I want to.
But that was that thing. But I know you've got a lot going on in your life too. You've got a wedding you're planning.
I do.
This is exciting. Yay.
It's so different now. I got married in 1993 the first time. So 32 years ago. Mm-hmm. A lot's changed in 32 years.
I believe it.
Things are more casual. You get the QR code now where you can zap it and then they can respond to your wedding invitation online. And so, you're talking about challenges and stuff. And I think I'm, given all the work that I do with Hello Gorgeous and that kind of stuff, I feel like I'm kind of tech savvy. But this whole wedding website thing is just giving me, it's just giving me fits. There should be a way that you should be easily able to upload your guest list and the number of people that are invited and you can put their cell phone numbers into so that they can send them a text message to remind them to respond to your wedding, blah, 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 blah. And I, for the life of me, can't figure out how to upload the guest list.
See, that's too much.
Well, and it really is. They make it convenient. You're supposed to put, and here's the thing. I mean, I'm marrying an amazing man. And one of the things that I'm dragging my feet on is like writing the love story. Like you're supposed to put your love story in there and then things to do and the hotel reservations. And I got all of that stuff in there. But I'm like, I can't send the invitations out until I get everything uploaded onto the website but you know what? Here's the thing. Let me tell you. When I got married the first time in 1993, you know what my technology was? An index card file.
See?
With index cards.
You need that again.
I know. And then on the index card was their name, their address, whether the wedding invite was sent, if they came to the shower, what was their shower gift, did I send a thank you note? I had that thing for 25 years. I'm telling you what, that was, and Christmas cards, I'd just go through and I'd use that and I'm like, I started to go the other day. I'm like, I just want simplicity back. Just give me back my card file.
Well, you know what gets me is when you try and plan something like, especially a huge event like that.
Yeah.
And it's not your first time. You ask for the same things on your list, on your registry.
On a registry.
Do you have a registry?
We do. No, Amazon. That is amazing because now we got, now you get Amazon. So back when I got married the first time, it was like Ellis Ayers. Remember Ellis Ayers?
Yep.
It was, and we registered for silly stuff, like stuff we never used. But it was like Ellis Ayers and Target and Hudson's. Remember Hudson's?
Yep. They're all the same store, basically.
Yep. And so now you've got Amazon. And, it's interesting this time around because, number one, I'm 30-some years older, 32 years older. But also it's that I don't, we combine two households. So the stuff that we need, just the bedding that we have is stuff that Tom had because he was newly divorced when we met. And so that was kind of new. And I'm like, well, maybe we'll just put a new bedspread on there or, you know what I mean? Just some stuff around. But when you combine two households like that, there's not a lot that we need.
That's what I'm saying. And people are judgy about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to say, what is she doing asking for all this stuff when, she's been around.
Right. And that's why I said I'm doing a bachelorette party. So I may borrow 20 of those singles.
Tell me where to go.
But I said we really don't need like a true bridal shower because we don't need a lot of stuff. And you want to put something on there. We got when we had an engagement party a year ago, I guess was kind of like a shower. And we got some beautiful things for the yard and, some gift cards, beautiful bottles of wine. We got some great bourbon, that kind of thing. And we actually told people no gifts, but they brought stuff anyway.
People are going to bring stuff no matter what.
Yeah, that's right, which was very kind. And so we just put stuff on that it's not a necessity, but it would be fun to have. I think that's what we're looking at. Where when I got married at 26, right? Some of the things that we needed to have them because we were setting up house. Now it's like, oh, I don't really have to have that, but it would be fun.
You can get the fancy stuff. I noticed that you can get the fancy stuff like the wine bottle opener that does it by itself.
We already have that.
Oh.
But here's the thing. So when you got married the first time, did you register for like china and crystal glassware and all of those things?
Yeah, I felt pressured to do so, and it was at Marshall Fields. Yeah. So I felt pressured to do so. And did I ever get anything? I got some stuff. And can I tell you if I have it now? I don't know where a lot of that stuff is. I have a few things. I have a pizza cutter and I have a can opener. I have a few things that were, that looked like they were high priced and they're still working.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would get married again, I would just ask for money.
Well, and they,
you know what I'm saying? I'd say monetary donation.
As Amazon has it now, you can actually make a honeymoon fund.
Yes,
as your or like a house fund or whatever, like that kind of thing. But going back to that, so when I got married the first time, we didn't register for China, but we were registered for Fallscraft. Do you remember Fallscraft? I got married in the 90s, and I registered for Crystal. And when I moved out of the home that I lived in for 30 years and moved into our new home, all that stuff, I was so afraid to use it. It was all in a box downstairs in the basement. So the Fallscraft, the beautiful grapevine, pattern and all these crystal glasses, and the kids nowadays, they don't want them. They don't want, I'm not going to save that for Seth because he's not. So I'm going to end up putting it on like Amazon Marketplace for like $50 or something because it's so interesting. It's different. It's just different.
So isn't it funny though? You're not going to keep the old stuff. You're going to buy all new stuff, correct?
We just had stuff, so I'm not going to buy new stuff. It's Tom had newer stuff, and so we're just using that.
Well, so what happens, though, if you don't figure this out? Is there a timetable where you have to get all this figured out?
No, thank goodness. Well, just obviously the register we have to get figured out. But no, I mean, luckily we have a large enough home that, we can it just boxes in the garage. And Tom is so good. Like, he doesn't pressure me to say, look, when are we getting rid of this? It just sits there. And when it comes time where I feel like, okay, I'm going to part. And it was Mikasa crystal, all they were beautiful. And what I said to him was, well, let's save them. And maybe we won't use them for like champagne, but we could have like a dessert bar and we could put like items in the thing. And he's like, when are we going to do that? I'm like, well, I don't know. But
I hate when men are practical like that. I hate that.
But maybe someday. But if I have them, he's like, you're never going to use them. I'm like, you're probably right. But yeah, it's just so funny how I think it's youth. Mm-hmm. I think when I was younger, there were just things that you wanted, that you needed. And now that you're older, the things that were important to you, like I told Tom, I'm like, we're planning the honeymoon first. Whatever the budget left over, that's what we go for the wedding.
that is age talking there.
It absolutely is.
Get the party and the vacation in first.
That's right. Well, and even the wedding. I was talking with somebody today. When I got married the first time, and I don't know about you, but like we did the church, and then it was an hour for the mass and all the things, and then you had the 2-hour delay between the wedding and the reception, and then you had people at the reception and blah 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 blah. Now it's like, nope, it's all in one spot. Yep. You go, you get married. You open the bar for half an hour while you go take pictures. You come back, it's dinner, and then it's just having a good time the rest of the night, right? It's just a celebration. Party. And people ask me too, given the fact, and I loved my husband dearly, and I wouldn't change a thing. As hard as it was, and losing him, and even I said, getting me to this point, right? I wouldn't change a thing. But I also, people are like, well, you had a big wedding the first time. Why do you want to do it this time? And I think it's that for me, I love Tom so much that I just want to celebrate with all of our family and friends.
Oh, now that is very sweet.
Right. It's just that I could very easily, we could have eloped. We could have done anywhere. And part of it is for our kids too. Right.
Right.
Seth, my son's going to give me away. His daughter's coming in, they live in Cuba now.
Wow. And
so they're going to come up for a couple weeks. So they'll be here for the wedding. But I think that's it. It's not about the gifts. It's about, I went to a wedding back last fall, and I remember the mother of the bride coming up to me and giving me a big hug. And she said, I imagine that this is what heaven is like, because all of the people that I love are right here in this room.
And that's what's important. And in general, as we age, I think that's the way our mind thinks. Yes. We think more about our good friends, our family, because we relish them more. We want them around us more because we realize that they may not be here forever.
That's right. Well, and I think too, we were very selective about the people that are coming to the wedding, like my good friends, like you.
I was worried if I was going to be invited.
Yes. But, I remember my mom saying, well, are you inviting so-and-so? I'm like, no, really not inviting so-and-so. I just, this time, before, and that's what I said to Tom too, right? And again, I don't know how it was when you got married, but my mom and dad were alive, and my in-laws were alive when I got married the first time. And so my in-laws, they took care of the rehearsal dinner and they paid for the bar. Mm-hmm. My mom's like, here's X amount of dollars, right? And so you feel like they've got some skin in the game, when you're doing that. So I'm like, you can invite, 25 people. Mike's parents could invite 25 people. Now it's like, I'm paying for the party. Nope.
When I got married, my parents were dead.
Were they really? When you got married the first time?
No, I waited so long. Yeah. If I had to do it.
How old were you when you got married the first time?
I was about 35.
Oh, were you really?
I was, no, I wasn't. Yeah, I was. 34, maybe 30.
Okay.
33, maybe. But yeah, late for that time.
Okay.
And I think if I had to do it, my dad was still sort of here. He was in a nursing home at the time. But my mom was gone, and so it was for me, I kept thinking about what they would have wanted.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that same thing, but except they weren't here.
Yeah.
Because my mom would have ran the show.
Yeah.
She was a 4'11" powerhouse with a brown red football helmet hair.
Yep. Yeah.
She would have been running the show, wearing her polyester pants and her sandals, and just yelling at people. But I kind of miss that. But you know what? Whatever it happens, whatever part of your life it happens, because you're getting married again. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. When is it? Do you want to say?
In June.
Okay, it's in June. That's awesome. But I am on now. I've been divorced again, so here I am now on the dating scene again. Where do we go? I'm on Match. I'm on Tinder, and some of the things I've witnessed is horrifying.
I know.
I mean,
that's what I say to Tom every day. I'm like, don't make me go back out there again.
No.
And I actually am going to, of all the things that I am doing and have to do, I said to Tom, it's very important to me. I want to submit our love story to Match because that's how we met. And so I want to be an inspiration to others and people like yourself. Like, true love does exist. And I'm really lucky because I got lucky a second time. I had such an amazing individual and an amazing man, an amazing partner, an amazing husband and business partner, all the things when I was married the first time. And Tom is incredible. And I just feel like I'm so blessed I got lucky and love a second time. And I know that there are a lot of people that don't get this lucky one time. But I also want to, me and you and I have talked about this for years. I swore off. I was not going to go on the dating sites because, you and I have that same thing, right? We're a public figure in our area. I was afraid of stalkers. I was afraid people would see widow and that they would think there was money there. And I thought, no. And so I kept my profile incognito for a really long time. And then I too found some of those guys that were just weird. But yet then I found this diamond in the rough that was just, absolutely incredible. And so that's why I really want to share our story with Matched, again, to inspire others to not give up because it's out there.
And it gets to the being when I don't want to go on any others. I'll be on Match and Tinder, and that's it. Tinder, the first thing a lot of these guys ask you, and they may live 3,000 miles away, do you live alone? And to me, right away, that's a red flag.
Me too. I
block them. But I did go on one date, and it was nice.
I cannot believe that I am your good friend, and I'm just finding out now.
Well, I didn't know how to
our podcast that you went out on a date.
I thought I texted you.
No, I'm not hurt.
I thought I texted you the day of.
No, you did not.
Okay,
you texted me when we were working on the profiles together.
Okay, because I did a group text. I wonder who got them. I did a group text.
I wonder who you texted.
I don't know.
It wasn't me. All right, so I'm
probably my boss.
So tell me all about the date.
Well, first of all, he lives about 30 miles away.
Okay. Sometimes that's good.
Yeah, I agree. That's sometimes it's good.
So you can't just drop by work or unannounced, or it's got to take, if he does, it takes a little bit of effort, which means that he's really interested.
And then this is a really sweet guy. I mean, when I met him, I didn't tell him who I was or what I was doing. But sometimes if you listen to the station, I work in a radio station here in South Bend, you can put the pieces together with my pictures.
Yes.
With the pictures, because I really have no life besides work. So I put it together, and he didn't figure it out, but I told him, I said, look, all honesty, you told me your name. We exchanged phone numbers. And I said, I want to tell you, this is what I do. Because I've had one person I was talking to on Match, and I told him what I did. He goes, oh, I hate country music, that crappy stuff. And I thought, okay, well, I'm glad I found out now. But so he was very, very nice about it. And I think he was a little nervous about it too. But he didn't run. He was just a very nice guy. So we decided we were going to meet at a local coffee shop about a week ago. And we met. Very nice. And I got there first, and I bought my coffee, and I sat down. And he comes and he goes, with a rose.
Aww.
Which was very nice. He goes,
I love that.
What are you doing with I was going to wine you and dine you. I thought, we're at a coffee shop, so I can buy my own flatbread pizza if I have to.
Right?
With my coffee. But that's okay. That's very sweet.
It was the gesture that
Absolutely.
He was even willing to do that, because there are some guys that are like, what are you buying me?
And then I was talking he was listening. He listened because he heard my story about when I was putting my license plate on, and I took my IU plate off and left it on the top of the car. Oh, and then when I got here to work, everybody was asking what's on. It was on the, on the driveway. So I was talking about that, and he said I would have came here earlier. He said, but I was looking for an IU license plate to replace your other one. I know, that was so sweet. Wasn't that sweet?
Yes.
But I'm not sure I'm taking this very slow because I'm not sure if there's a spark here.
Well, can I
and
tell
I
you?
don't want to just jump in the first one.
Well, can I tell you something though? I remember when I met Tom for the first time, to be honest, I wasn't sure. But what gave me the clue, like, I think this is something, and that is that we sat and talked for 3 hours, and I never looked at my watch once. Like all of a sudden, I looked up and I'm like, oh my gosh. So it wasn't like but here's the thing, and and you have to decide for yourself. I had a lot of learning to do. You know my background. Before I met Tom, I was in a relationship with a narcissist, which,
yes,
finding out that word is a lot more common than what we think. But they said that, like, when you're in those relationships and they like ignite your nervous system like all the time, that when you meet somebody that doesn't ignite your nervous system, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's a red flag because there's not a quote unquote spark. But by the same token, that's not what's happening. It's that your nervous system was so ignited by the narcissist that a normal relationship doesn't feel like it's the right way to go. Does that make sense?
That does make a lot of sense, because every time I tell those stories about him, I get the same reaction. Oh,
yes.
And he's a cute guy.
So tell more, like, you don't have to give me like where he works, but what does he do? And
well,
is he our
he
age?
He was a former sports reporter.
Oh.
Like a newspaper reporter up in Michigan, where he's from. He's a very nice guy. He's a nice guy. And so we have a lot in common there.
Is he our age?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Married, divorced? Well, not married. Divorced, widowed?
Yeah, I think he's divorced. Well, he was widowed, but then divorced. Here's another.
So it's kind of the same as you guys.
Well, yeah, but it was a very sweet story, and I can't repeat it. But he did something for his kids.
Aww.
See, they were. I'll tell you off. I hate to do this. I'm sorry, but I don't want to.
That's a private conversation.
Yeah, that's a private conversation. But he's very sweet in a lot of ways.
Oh, nice.
But I just don't know. I don't know what I'm.
All right, so you can't judge it. Not yet. You have to give it at least a second date.
Well, at least where he buys me some food, right?
Right. Well. Maybe.
You know me. I'm a foodie and very food motivated.
All right. So when you left the date, where did you leave it?
I found myself running to the car, and I don't know why. We were there for about an hour and a half.
Okay.
And then I got in the car and I just said, "Oh well, we kind of left it where, yes, we'll might see each other, but I didn't want to say specifics and." I guess I'm being kind of guarded, maybe too.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like that's what it is more than anything.
But I don't want to rush into anything. Yeah, he has my phone number.
And has he texted you?
Yes, he has.
Date? Okay.
Like he texted me. He said, "Oh, I just got back home. Hope you got back home okay." And I thought, I only live like, but that's very cute.
Still very sweet.
I know, but there's just I think I want sort of like a bad boy or something.
Yeah, those have gotten you into trouble to this point, though. So I think maybe we need to reevaluate your criteria. Maybe that's the next episode. What is your criteria for your next future person?
Let's wrap up the deal breaker list.
Right?
But it was very kind, and he texted me again, asked how I was in the parade with the station on Saturday. So he says, "How was your parade? Did you do? I see you were in the parade." I'm thinking, okay, he's looking at my Facebook page. But that's okay. So that was very sweet. Then Sunday we texted once and he said, I felt bad. I thought I got to at least say something. So I said, "Hi, how's your Sunday going?" And he said, "Well, not very productive. I've been going to the gym though." And he's a very sweet guy, but
I think you need to give it another.
I think
you need to give it another go. Right? Here's the thing, right? And so I've encouraged you, and I'm going to encourage our listeners to do the same thing.
Okay.
So, when I started dating, again, I wanted to write a list of attributes, like things that I wanted my person to have. And that was very important. And what I realized was a narcissist had those points, but that can be very misleading. Mm-hmm. So there's another list that needs to be made. And that is, how do you want to feel around this person?
Oh, that's a good idea.
And how do you want to be treated by this person?
Okay.
Right? Because here's the thing. You don't want somebody that's going to, being, how do I want to say it? And ignited is not the right word, but you don't want somebody that's going to keep you on edge all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here's the other thing too. One of the things that you and I talked about a lot, and that is that you want somebody that will let you be you.
Right, but I want to make sure I don't hit the same pitfalls, though.
Well, it sounds like this person is different than the last person.
Yeah, very much so.
So, but that's why I think that the lists would be very important.
Maybe that's why, because I wasn't used to being treated nicely.
Correct. Which is why I'm saying to you, that's the same thing with the narcissist, right?
Right.
So I have a friend, and when I saw a life coach for a while, this was years and years and years ago, and I said, I'm worried about this friend. They seem to date the same person all the time, and they just said, well, their picker is broken. And I'm like, what do you mean their picker is broken? And she said that it's that same thing, that they get into this, the person that treats them well, right? And again, this was a long time ago, but the person that treats them well, they don't necessarily want to be with them because they're so used to being treated badly.
You probably don't realize what is a good relationship.
Correct. Which is why I think it's interesting, and it would be positive to figure out that list, like what attributes, how do you want them to treat you, and then how do you want to feel around this person, right? You don't want to be ignited and on all. You want somebody to treat you nice. You want somebody to be looking for an IU license plate. Oh, my gosh.
I want somebody who's going to light me on fire. Not literally,
you just
but physically.
Your hair done. You don't want to get lit on fire. Not yet.
Woo! Oh my gosh, it's almost time. It's time for us to leave. Can you believe we were talking for a half hour?
No, that's why I love this.
I do too, because I'm not sure what advice we're giving out, but if anything, people are laughing. People are enjoying it. And they're getting a nugget. They're getting a nugget.
They're getting a nugget. And that's the nugget. How do you want to feel? And how do you want to be treated?
That's it. All right. Let us know what you think about Unfiltered Brew. That's what we are. We're unfiltered when we're doing our stuff. And I'm drinking my brew now, and it's all here for you to get whatever you'd like out of it.
That's right. And we hope you just get a little smile more than anything.
Absolutely. If you want to get a hold of us, I'm on Facebook. You can get me Deb Miles. Find me on Facebook. Also, Deb at b100.com. If you'd like to email me, where can they get a hold of you, Kim?
They can get a hold of me on Facebook as well, or you can email me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us. Episode 2 is now in the can,
that's right,
as they say, and this will be dropping the first Monday in April. So make sure you tell everybody and listen and give us your thoughts, whatever you think, or maybe you've got some, maybe they've got some expert advice for us.
Oh, I would be interested to see what their expert advice would be.
I need it. I won't speak for Kim. I'll speak for myself. I need it.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and have a wonderful rest of your month.
We will see you next time on Unfiltered Brewing.